Well, here it is, the final review of my Spielberg series leading up to Disclosure Day, since I already reviewed West Side Story and The Fabelmans when those came out. Now we've arrived at Ready Player One, which is certainly one of Spielberg's most divisive movies, but honestly, I think he was the perfect choice to direct this. This is one of those movies that could have gone very wrong in somebody else's hands. It could have just been 2 hours of, remember this, remember this, remember that, remember that. It could have been nothing but empty nostalgia. But Spielberg knows how to balance the spectacle, story, and characters in a way that keeps the movie from just turning into this pop culture checklist. Even if the movie is absolutely overloaded with references, Easter eggs, and callbacks, it still feels like there's an actual sense of wonder behind it. It feels like a filmmaker who understands why people love these worlds, not just that they do. And that's one of the things I really like about the movie, the world building. The OASIS is a geek's dream. It's basically the ultimate fantasy playground. You can be anybody you want, go anywhere you want, look however you want, race through impossible landscapes, fight alongside your favorite characters, and just completely escape reality. The movie is obviously trying to warn us about getting too lost in virtual worlds, but I'm not gonna lie, part of me still really wants the OASIS to be real. That's kind of the genius of the movie. It's a cautionary tale, but also makes the fantasy look incredibly appealing. You understand exactly why people would want to spend all their time there. And it's funny rewatching it now because the movie says the OASIS launched in 2025, which, as of me uploading this, was last year. According to the film, we were supposed to get this amazing immersive virtual universe. Instead, what do we have? The Facebook metaverse? So close enough, I guess, but not really. That's like a discount version. But then again, the movie also says the world started getting really screwed up in 2027 with things like bandwidth riots and corn syrup droughts, and as of me uploading this, that's next year. So maybe it's a good thing we don't have the OASIS. The movie's saying the OASIS only becomes necessary because the real world has gotten so miserable that people are desperate for escapism. If you look at it from that angle, that's actually very tragic. That's another thing the movie does very well. Even though it's colorful and fun and packed with visual chaos, there's a pretty bleak idea at the center of it. The real world of this movie is horrible. People are poor, overworked, crammed into awful living conditions, and the OASIS is the one place where they feel like they have control, identity, and freedom. So when the movie talks about escapism, it's not just doing it in a judgmental way. It understands why people escape. It understands why fantasy, gaming, movies, and fandom matter. As somebody who loves movies and pop culture, obviously, because I started this channel, I'm talking about this movie right now, I appreciated that. The cast is also very strong. Ty Sheridan does a solid job as Wade, Olivia Cook is fun as Samantha, Ben Mendelsohn knows exactly how to play this type of corporate villain, and Mark Rylance brings a weird, awkward, almost childlike quality to James Halliday that works really well. He makes Halliday feel like a genius, but also like somebody who never really figured out how to live in the real world. And that fits the whole point of the movie. He created this incredible digital universe, but he still had regrets, loneliness, and missed opportunities in real life. That gives the movie a little more heart that I think people sometimes overlook. And of course, one of the biggest pieces of the movie is just seeing all the references and Easter eggs. This is just an absolute movie for geeks. It is a geek buffet, and I mean that wholeheartedly as a fellow geek myself. I mean that in the highest compliments. Everywhere you look, there's something to recognize. Characters, vehicles, posters, games, movies, music, it's all there. What I like is that the references don't feel shoved in your face in this annoying way. They're just part of the environment. They make the OASIS feel huge and lived in. It really does feel like a giant shared pop culture playground. The quests are also really creative. I love that the movie isn't just about collecting keys through generic action scenes. The challenges actually have personality. The race at the beginning is a great set piece, and I remember seeing that in the theater on the biggest screen they had and thinking, yeah, I made the right decision by upgrading my ticket to, not the IMAX, but like that theater's version of the IMAX. It doesn't work as well on a TV screen, but seeing that in theaters, oh boy, so good. The highlight for me is definitely the Shining sequence, even though I've never actually seen that movie, but the whole section is so clever. It's not just, hey, remember that movie, The Shining? It actually puts the characters inside the movie in a way that's funny, suspenseful, and visually inventive. It's one of those ideas that could have just been this gimmick, but Spielberg and the team really run with it. It's probably the scene people remember most from the movie, and for good reason. The music choices are great too, and the needle drops are awesome, and they don't feel super forced, awkward, or overused. A lot of modern movies lean way too hard on recognizable songs to get a cheap reaction, but here they're spaced out well and used in a way that adds energy instead of distracting from the movie. They help give the film a fun, crowd-pleasing blockbuster vibe without making it feel really desperate. That being said, I do still have some issues with the film, particularly the CGI. The movie came out in 2018, and yet the effects look weirdly less convincing than a lot of movies from the 90s. And that's kind of weird when you're talking about Spielberg, who made Jurassic Park back in 1993, and that movie still looks amazing. There are moments in the film where the visuals are impressive in scale, but not always realistic. Some of it has this weird digital look where your brain just knows none of it is real. It's like that uncanny valley look. Now, it could be argued that that was intentional. Maybe Spielberg wanted the Oasis to feel artificial because that's what it is artificial. Maybe the slightly plastic, slightly off video game quality was part of the point, to show that this is a world people choose instead of its messy, imperfect real one. And that interpretation does make some sense, but even if that was the artistic choice, I still think some of the CGI just doesn't look as strong as it should, and that's a problem with a lot of Warner Brothers movies. And then there's the character of Samantha. I have got to talk about this because the movie acts like her birthmark is some huge shocking flaw, and it's like, really? You have a birthmark on your face. Oh, she's so ugly. Like, really? That's so stupid. Like, the movie treats it like this big dramatic reveal and it just doesn't work because obviously she's still really cute. Like, it's one of those moments where the movie feels like it should have emotional weight, but the premise of the insecurity just feels completely blown out of the water. Just, why are we doing this? Let's make it a mountain out of a molehill with that. And then we get to the ending, which is probably my biggest issue, because the movie ends with this big idea that they're going to shut down the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays so people can spend more time in the real world. And I get what it's going for, I get the point of that, but, don't let virtual life completely erase human connection. Okay, fine, but people do work and school in the Oasis. The movie itself establishes it's not just this game, it's basically society, so what are those people supposed to do on the days that shut down? Just not work or go to school? The ending wants to feel profound, but the logic kind of falls apart when you think about it. And also, not everybody has a girlfriend or romantic relationship to go hang out with on those days. The movie acts like shutting it down is this universally healthy situation, but for a lot of people, the Oasis might be where their friends are, where their job is, where their education is, and where they feel most connected. So you're kind of doing more harm than good to those people and their mental health. That's weird. Still, even with those issues, I had a lot of fun with Ready Player One. It's energetic, creative, funny, packed with imagination, and it feels like Spielberg is absolutely having the best time playing this giant digital toy box. Is it one of his deepest movies? No. Is it one of his best-looking movies? Heck no, not even close. But it is one of his most entertaining late-career blockbusters, and I think he brought exactly the right sense of wonder to it. So overall, I really enjoy Player One. It's far from perfect, but it's super fun. The cast is great, the world building is strong, the quests are clever, and it absolutely delivers as a geek fantasy adventure. And for me, it gets an A-, a 9 out of 10, and 4 out of 5 stars. And there you go. I have officially reviewed every Spielberg movie leading up to Disclosure Day, which I will be seeing and reviewing tomorrow, hopefully. So come back for that, and I will see you next time.